Welcome back to First Chapter Friday. This week's book is another selection from the Blue Stem Books. If you recall, that's the list of 20 books sent out through the state of Illinois. If you read 4 of the books from the list, you get to vote for your favorite one at the end of the year. The book is called A Whole New Ballgame. It's the story of 2 best friends named Red and Rip who are starting 5th grade. Please enjoy the first chapter of this realistic fiction book, and if you like what you hear, then check it out today on Destiny Discover. 5th grade. I bolted towards the chain link fence, Red shot for the gate. In full stride, I slipped my backpack down my shoulders, and as soon as Red grabbed the metal post and spun into the schoolyard, I flung the bag over the fence. Red caught it by the straps just before it touched the grass. Booyah! I hammer-fisted the air. Bam! He held it up. Every time, Mason Irving. Mason Irving. That's what Red calls me. Everyone else calls me by my nickname, Rip. I held out my fist. Red gave me a pound. At 7:25 every morning, I met Red at the end of his driveway, and we walked to Reese Jones Elementary, Orleans Lane to Key Place to Niagara Drive. Then, when you get to RJE, I toss my bag, Red catches it, and we zigzag through the portables, the 2nd and 3rd grade classrooms, and head for the new playground. It's our walk-to-school routine. Red likes routines. But this morning wasn't like other mornings because today was the first day of 5th grade. 5th grade! At RJE, all the 5th graders have Miss Hamburger, and yes, that's her real name. And no, I'm not going to make any jokes because if you go to RJE, you've heard them all. Miss Hamburger's been teaching 5th grade ever since RJE opened 25 years ago. I hope Miss Hamburger lets us sit at the same table, Red said. Me too. I heard she assigned seats at the beginning of the year. I grabbed the granola bar from my jeans pocket, snapped off a piece, and flipped it to Red. I hope Miss Hamburger lets us bring snacks to class, he said. I hope she lets us keep water bottles at our table. We reached the walkway to the playground. You ready? I said. Ready as I'll ever be, Mason Irving. I shook out my hair and brushed back the locks above my ears. On your mark, get set, go! We whipped our bags into the benches and tore across the sand towards the jungle gym. We sped walk the balance beam and then split up. Red darted for the climbing wall. I went for the monkey bars. I swung across the rungs, 2 at a time, the steps at the upper deck, and waited for Red. Then we dove for the spiral slide. I went down first. Booyah! I shouted. Bam! Red followed. Obstacle coursing the jungle gym is another part of our walk-to-school routine, our favorite part. We scooped up our bags, and we left the playground, and we tapped the wooden posts with the solar lights. 2 summers ago, when the community built the playground, Red and I helped put in those posts. I pulled a granola bar wrapper from my pocket and crumbled it tight. Irving with a crisp-over dribble, I said, pretending to announce the play-by-play. I made a move for the garbage. He stutter steps towards the key, breaks right, shoots, nothing but the bottom of the can. Oh, what a move by Rip. We're playing basketball, Red sang, the intro song from Xbox. We love that basketball. Basketball. Not only was today the first day of 5th grade, but it was also the first day of the 5th grade basketball program. Red and I were playing hoops together for the first time. Until now, Red hadn't been allowed to play hoops at school. We turned into the sidewalk in front of the school and headed up the circular drive. Like always, we timed our arrival perfectly, reaching the doors just as the first buses pulled up and the first bikers and scooter riders pulled into the racks. Red likes being on time. He does better when he's on time. Where is Miss Darling? He asked, tightening his fists into knots. He shook them next to his eyes. Where's Miss Walden? I looked around. I don't know. The principal, Miss Darling, yes, that's her real name too, always stood between the double doors saying good morning and telling kids, take off your hats when you enter the building. Miss Walden, the parent coordinator, always sat at the desk under the announcement monitor in the main hall. But not today. We strutted down the K1 hallway. 5th graders strut, especially down the K1 hallway, and then headed up the stairs by the bathrooms. The K1 hallway stairs is the only staircase Red uses. On the 2nd floor, we passed the library and sped up as we got closer to room 208. Miss Hamburger's room. "You ready?" I asked. "Ready as I'll ever be, Mason Irving." When I reached the doorway, I stopped dead in my tracks. The person standing in front of the classroom was not Miss Hamburger. Read the rest on Destiny Discover today.